Shalom, shalom, everybody. Hello, greetings, all of that great stuff. What is this? Dang. Now, I apologize to all of the people who know me face to face, and have met me personally. I'm going to be coming to see you and visit you real soon. I had to take a trip. This is Maxims of the Law 5 through 10, and we're going to probably do a couple of paragraphs from the Restoration of Consular Courts Juror Questionnaire, Part 1. Now, here number 5 is, an unrebutted affidavit stands as truth in commerce. Then we have number 6, an unrebutted affidavit becomes the judgment in commerce. Now you understand, here's what an unrebutted affidavit looks like. When you send your writ to them or you send any documentation to them, if no one rebuts your claim or your affidavit, then it stands as truth and in judgment in commerce. So you see, if they don't have a leg to stand on, then whatever you say is God. 7, in commerce, for any matter to be resolved must be expressed. You got to speak up. Whatever matter that needs to be resolved, it's got to be expressed. Okay, this is number 8. The primary user of commercial law and those who best understand codified it in Western civilization are the Jews. This is the Mosaic law. They have had for more than 3,500 years past, which is based upon Babylonian commerce. This one is, he who leaves the battlefield first loses by default. Okay? This means that an affidavit which is unrebutted, point for point, stands as truth in commerce because it hasn't been rebutted and has left the battlefield. Governments allegedly exist to resolve disputes, conflicts, and truths. Governments, where am I at? Allegedly exist to resolve disputes and conflicts, allegedly exist to be substitutes for the dueling field and battlefield, for so disputes, conflicts, and affidavits of truth are resolved peacefully, reasonably, instead of by violence. So people can take their disputes into court and have them all opened up and resolved, instead of going out and marching 10 paces and turning to kill or injure. Legal maxim, he who does not repel a wrong when he can, occasions it. So this is what this is saying. You sent your affidavit, a truth, to these people. You mailed it. You hand delivered it. You put it in the paper. You put it in you need to go to the probate court, because the probate court, thank you for bringing that to my energy's attention. The probate court is the law of the land. When you addressing somebody, you addressing the administrator of the court. You're not addressing no other entity but the administrator of the court. Why? Because that person is over them all. This court administrator. They tell the judges and the lawyers what's going on. Hey, this republic government, the Moorish Divine National Movement republic government, just sent me a writ. This is what the administrator is going to say to the judges and the juries and the trustees and whoever else is in those positions, in those places, in those tribunals. She going to say, this is official. 8.5 by 14 letter. It's got the flags on it. It's got the affidavits. It's got the writs. It's got everything that we need. The laws, everything. She gonna be like, these folks ain't playing around. Then they gonna do exactly what the writs say, and you shouldn't have no problems. But if you do, have a fee schedule ready. Type up your own fee schedule. For every half an hour that they dealing with you or you dealing with them, for every half hour is 5,000 Federal Reserve notes. You bill them. This is commerce. This is what they do to you. They bill you for everything. Have you ever seen one of those your own charge lists? It's got so many charges on there that don't even make sense. It's crazy. $3 for this, $2 for that. Camera time, sitting in the courtroom, court fees, court costs, judge costs, administrative fees. What? All of these made up fees and all of these made up stuff. Look, this is number 8. This is the maxims of law. Sacrifice is the measure of credibility. No willingness to sacrifice equals no liability, responsibility, authority, or measure of conviction. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. A person must put himself on the line, assume a position, take a stand as regards the matter at hand, and one cannot realize the potential gain without also exposing himself to the potential of loss. One who is not damaged, put at risk, or willing to swear an oath on his commercial liability to claim authority. Acts 7. Life, death, and Stephen. That's Acts 7. The book of Acts chapter 7 tells you he asserted himself. Okay? For the truth of his statements and legitimacy of his actions had no basis to assert claims or charges, and forfeits all credibility and right legal maxim. He who bears the burden ought also to derive the benefit. What burden are we bearing? We as men, especially stepping out on the front line, taking these laws, enforcing these laws, taking these maxims and enforcing these maxims in the tribunals, in the United States Service Corporation, wherever you have to take these legal maxims and put them in the face of these de facto, not de jure, corporate members, then that's what you have to do. And we as men, this is how we protect the women. If we on the front line, then we absorbing most of the damage that's being shot at the women anyway, because they hitting for the mother. She's the mother earth. That's how they live. Nations deal with mother principles. And the nature and the mother principle, they coming after the mom. Okay? At all times. Legal maxim. Number 9, satisfaction of a lien. It says, in commerce, a lien or claim can be satisfied in any one of 3 ways. By someone rebutting your affidavit with another affidavit of his own, point by point, until the matter is resolved as to who is correct. In case of non-resolution, you convene a sheriff common law jury based on the 7th Amendment concerning a dispute involving a claim more than $20, or you can use 3 disinterested parties to make a judgment. The only other way to satisfy a lien is to pay it. Legal maxim. If the plaintiff does not prove his case, the defendant is absolved. Number 10. So the 10th maxim of law is a lien or claim can be satisfied only through rebuttal by an affidavit, point by point, resolution by jury, or payment. That's it. This is what they're doing to you when they're putting you, kidnapping you and taking your property and your private motor conveyance and putting all of these fees on you so you can get your stuff back, kidnapping you and all of that and putting you in this jail. They doing this. This is what they doing. They are putting liens on you. That's what they doing. Charging you, making you pay with the worthless fiat anyway. Come on now. They can't be doing this. Commercial law is non-judicial. Okay? So this ain't the courts like we sitting in the consulate right now with a building and we making decisions, judicial decisions on commercial law. No, there's a big difference. The consulates and the consulars, they are fully enforcing the constitutional law. They are writing writs to different organizations. They're writing writs to corporations. They're writing writs to people, actual living beings. And these writs, if unrebutted, stand as truth and law. Commercial law is non-judicial. This is prejudicial, not prejudice. This is timeless. This is the base, the foundation beneath which any government or any of their court systems can possibly exist or function. That means what the courts are doing and what our governments are ultimately adjudicating and making rules about are these basic rules of commercial law. When you go into court and place your hand on the Bible and say, I swear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, you have just sworn in a commercial affidavit. It's the conflict between commercial affidavits of truth that gives the court something to talk about, that forms the entire basis of its action and its being there in their venue. Hence, one of the reasons attorneys always create controversy. No court and no judge can overturn or disregard or abrogate somebody's affidavit of truth. The only one who has any capacity or right or responsibility or knowledge to rebut your affidavit of truth is the one who is adversely affected by it. It's his job, his right, his responsibility to speak for himself, to issue his own affidavit, because no one can speak it for him. No one else can know what your truth is or has the free will responsibility to state it. This is your job. Commercial law. Now, this might actually be a little bit beneficial. Let's just, let's go ahead and do the commercial law, and we'll do the collection and how to calculate your damages, and then we're going to go ahead and stop there so we can focus a little bit on the juror questionnaire. Commercial law. This phrase designates the whole body of substantive jurisprudence, that is, the Uniform Commercial Code, the Truth in Lending Act, applicable to the rights, intercourse, and of persons engaged in commerce, trade, or mercantile pursuits. Black's Law Dictionary, 6th edition. Commercial law maintains the commercial harmony, integrity, and continuity of society. It's also stated as to maintain the peace and dignity of the state. Over the millennia, these principles have been discovered through experience and distilled and codified into 10 fundamental maxims listed above. There's no legal issue or dispute possible which is not a function of one or more of these principles. The entirety of world commerce now functions in accordance with the Uniform Commercial Code, the United States Corporation version of commercial law. Seen that? The United States Corporation version of commercial law. You know, I do a part 3 of this. Yeah, we're going to have to do this because this is what we do. We write these affidavits. I'm trying to help y'all make sure that y'all either stop the injury or get remedy for it. So that means you got to collect. This is what you're going to do. You're going to collect. Okay, collection and how to calculate your damages. Now, here's another aspect of your affidavits. In commerce, now the affidavits are the documents we send you with the flags of the Moorish Divine National Government on them. That's the affidavits. So you leave that flag up and you leave it could look something like this. This is one of them. Order of the Great Seal, the flag, right there. Great Seal, National Association of the Moorish Affairs, Northwest Maxim, Northwest Africa, North America, the North Gate, Temple of the Moon and Sun, North America, Central America, South America, and Americana. That right there is one of them. You leave that up on your affidavits, and then you type that thing. You know, some of the work has been done for us. It's streamlined and made it a lot easier for us. And all we have to do is assert ourselves in the laws that protect us. And we got this. I'm telling you, it's a matter of time when they receive enough writs of serious, lawful enforcement. They're going to stop messing with everybody. Here's another aspect of your affidavits in commerce. There is an assessment aspect, which is... Is he eating something? No, he's just playing with my water bottle. Now here's another aspect of your affidavits in commerce. There is the assessment aspect, which is who owes who, what, why, how, and for what reasons. And there is the collection aspect. Ooh, I'm loving this. Hold on a minute. Hold on, let's get to collecting now. You know, I'm trying to collect from all of those times they kidnapped you, or your cars, or your vehicles, or your property, which you need to have a trust. There's 2 different types of trust. It's the one you create, and it's the one that's already created. I'm going to send you a pre-made trust document where you can you have to put all of your property in this trust. Everything. I'm talking about serial numbers, if you own furniture, if you own a bike, if you own a tire, it don't matter. I'm talking about every single item that ever belonged to you in this trust. Nobody can touch it then. So when you get your allodial documents back, your original titles to everything that you own, we're talking birth certificates, social security cards, contracts, any type of records that you can get out of anybody, the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act. When you submit a request for this Freedom of Information Act, you're going to get everything you could ever think of concerning information on your own person. And that's a law, that's a rule, it's for free. You submit your Freedom of Information Act and they give you everything. They supposed to anyway. Then you go to the original places you were born. Like I was born in Minnesota, Regions Hospital. I got to go there. I got to take my writ. I got to say, hey, I'm the owner of this birth certificate, and I want you to give me the original certified copy of the one that was created when I was born. If they don't have that, they better give you something close to it or a remedy, because that's your property. Everything. Okay, my bad. I just got on a tangent. The collection aspect is based on international commerce that had existed for more than 6,000 years. Again, this is based on Jewish law and Jewish grace period, which is in units of 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. This is why you get a 90-day letter from the IRS. Commercial processes are non-judicial. They are summary processes, short, concise, without a jury. The IRS creates the most activity of commerce collection in the entire world. The collection process is relatively valid, although the IRS is not registered to do business. Now listen to this. Although the IRS is not registered to do business in, hold on, any state. Did you understand what you just read? The IRS is not registered to do business in or perform commercial matters in any state. So how did they get to collect all the money they get? How did they get all the money they get? Answer: because you give it to them without requesting a proof of claim from them, or even if they were licensed to give you offers based on an arbitrary estimations. You have to tell them, what is you charging me for? Who's charging me? For what? Who have I injured to be charged? You're doing commerce on my land. You owe me money. What are you talking about? However, this is where things get very interesting. The other phase of matters is assessment phase. There is no valid assessment. The IRS has and never can and never will and never could ever issue a valid assessment, lien, or levy. It's not possible. Let's see why. First of all, in order for them to do that, there would have to be paperwork. A true bill, this is why we were telling you in the last video that you need to ask for a true bill of sale. When you go to the sales department to get your vehicle, you ask for a true bill of sale. In that group, if you take that true bill of sale and you go in the Counselor of Courts Northeast and Maxims group, you're going to see that House Joint Resolution red tag that you figure out how to get on a piece of paper. The House Joint Resolution red tag, you sign it, and then you comma, you put your full name in caps, you comma, and then you put a state. And then you send it to the Treasury Department and or the Attorney General. They both their job to clear that debt for that vehicle, and then bam. They're going to call you when the vehicle ready and you can come pick up your keys. Now, God Isis L, she already sent us the link to be able to get our private tags. So now we can go to the dealership, tell them we not subject to any contracts. We ain't signing up for no insurance or nothing like that. Them is all contracts and bank bonds. And what we doing is putting our private plates on the car that was just paid for by our wealth from the trustees that are now doing their duties because they know you exist and they know that you're going to charge them if they don't. Thank you very much, trustees, for doing your duty. And then you got your vehicle and your private plates and you can zoom, go where you need to go. Okay? Now, where's this true bill? A true bill in commerce. There would have to be sworn affidavits by someone that this is a true, correct, and complete, not meant to deceive, which in commerce is essentially the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth when you get into court. Now, nobody in the IRS is going to take commercial liability for exposing themselves to a lie and have a chance for people to come back at them with a true bill in commerce, a true accounting. This means they would have to set forth the contract, the foundational instrument with your signature on it, in which you are in default, and a list of all the wonderful goods and services that they have done for you, which you owe them for, or a statement of all the damages that you have caused them for which you owe them for. See what I'm saying? They ain't got no proof that you've damaged them in any way, so why are they charging you? To my knowledge, no one has ever received goods or services from the IRS from which they owe money. I personally don't know of anyone that has damaged anybody in the IRS that gives them the right to come after us and say that we owe them money. Because you damaged me, the assessment phase is in the IRS is non-existent. It is a complete fraud. Wait a minute. There is one definition of service that actually applies to the IRS. service. The act of bringing a female animal to a male animal to get bleeped so that the owner of the animals may enjoy the product of this union. See, that's back to the Willie Lynch letters when they were saying that the mothers is the economy and they was Xing the man out. And you know that in some of the slave history stories, our ancestors' story, I ain't going to call them something that they're not, our ancestors' story, the mother was told to beat the father in front of the child. And the mother was threatened. They told the mother they would kill the son if she didn't beat the father in front of the son. So she took the whip and she beat the father in front of the son. And this is the demasculation of the Moors, of the males. They tried to destroy your pride, your psyche, of your nation, of your history. They try to destroy and strip out of your conscious mind your pride of your nation. Everybody tell you pride is evil or bad. They always telling you going to hell if you have pride. Nobody should have pride. Listen, it's okay to be proud of a good thing. It's okay to be proud of a righteous thing, a true thing. Okay? Gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling inside, doesn't it? This is why these rules of commercial law come to our rescue. T.S. Eliot wrote a wonderful little phrase in one of his poems. We shall not cease from exploration, and the result of all our exploring will be to arrive at the place at which we begin and know it for the first time. This is the beginning and this is the end. This closes the circle on the process. See, that's a beautiful thing, man. We're going to come back to it and have some more of that in a few seconds, minutes. We're in this is foundational principles for all Moors. This is the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America by the noble Prophet Drew Ali. He prepared this. Now, they gave him the history when he went over and was chilling with the Masonic order. I don't know which society it was, but he was chilling with one of the orders or a group of the people, and they gave him these documents, and he prepared it for the Moors. By the guiding of his Father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his Father God, Allah. Now, listen. You hearing me read this right now, and you understanding that the tenets of this man's faith is what it is. Don't let that detract you from the information that's being given. You want to turn your blind eye because you think that Islam or God or Allah, it mean the same thing. Allah mean God too, just by the way. It's the feminine version. Al is the feminine. All is the feminine, excuse me. Now, don't let it detract you from the information that's being given. If you don't read the contents and the legal information of the book, you ain't read it. I'm going through it because I've already line for line, word for word, letter for letter, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. Prologue, The Creation and Fall of Man, page 9. You got to read everything, all the fine print, everything. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America by the noble Prophet Drew Ali. You see, reproduction and duplication of this work for free is permitted. So I got the right to download this just to let everybody know. Refer to the terms and condition page for more details. All right. Know thyself and thy Father God Allah. The genealogy of Jesus, with 18 years of the events, lives, works, and teaching in India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. These secret lessons are for all of those who love Jesus and desire to know about his life, works, and teachings. Now, his real name is Yehoshua ben Yusuf. He used the word Jesus because it's commonly recognized with all the Moors, been indoctrinated, and at the present time, dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus. Oh, hold on. I got y'all. I'm trying to get settled right now. My bad. Okay. Where we at? Dear mothers, Teach these lessons to your little ones, that they may learn to love instead of hate. So, is the reason why our little ones hating instead of loving is because we ain't teaching? Dear fathers, by these lessons you can set your house in order, and your children will learn to love instead of hate. See? The lessons of this pamphlet are not for sale, but for the sake of humanity, as I am a prophet and the servant is worthy of his hire. You can receive this pamphlet at expense. The reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed the secrets, and for the first time in ages have these secrets been delivered into the hands of the Muslims of America. All authority and rights of publishing of this pamphlet of 1927 by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Now, the industrious act of the Muslims of the Northwest and Southwest Africa. These are the Moabites, Hamathites, Canaanites, who were driven out of the land of Canaan by Joshua and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in that portion of Egypt. In later years, they formed themselves kingdoms. These kingdoms are called this day Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, etc. Telling you what happened, man. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's telling you what happened with the Moors. Now, I'm going to send you some information via the Facebook group, and we're going to get back into chapter 1 in a minute. I'll be right back with you, folks. Thanks for tuning in with me.